make sure I shout out to Dominic and say, hi, Dominic. Now you have videos to watch. So today I am making pizza. So we're going to have homemade pizza. And I have our French Pantry herb-infused pizza dough. So that is the mix we are using today. So first off, you're going to open your pizza dough mix. And it does squirt out the top, so be careful. Yeah, see? All that goes everywhere. Now, you're going to pour it into your bowl that you're going to use. Here's one thing I didn't do last time. So make sure that when you put it in your bowl, you find the yeast packet. Because you're going to need it. And you don't want to dump the oil and the milk in there when you need the yeast packet. So you're going to dump that in there. And then you're going to open your yeast and you're going to put that in there. Oops. Put those in there dirty with yeast on them from the last one. So I'm going to cut this open and I'm going to put the yeast in here. Now what I'm going to do is it says on the package that you need to heat up milk, and it asks for whole milk, and it says 1 cup of whole milk. So I'm going to put 1 cup of whole milk into my mini cake mold. It works perfectly for this, so I'll put it in there. Then I'm going to take a 1/3 cup of olive oil. It says olive oil on the package, so I'm using olive oil. You just run out of olive oil right here. Okay, got another thing of it. So 1 olive oil is just regular extra virgin olive oil, and 1 has like a Mediterranean taste to it, and so just gonna have a little bit of a mix here. Now we do have some oils that you could probably use in there as well, and I may do that on the next one, but we're making 3 of them, so we're good. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in the microwave, and I'm going to put it on 1.5 minutes. So let's see. And on top of this, I will put the bon mat on top. Now, according to the directions, you have to heat it to a certain degree. So, what I'm going to use is we have a thermometer that we sell, and I'm actually going to use that to check the temperature of it to make sure it's reached that temperature that is required for it. And then, once it reaches it, then I will pour it into my mix it up, do all that good stuff. Once that's done, you mix it, it says for 5 minutes, or until it forms a ball. Once you mix it up, and it's come to the ball, then you leave it in your bowl and you put plastic wrap over it. Before you do that, you need to put olive oil on top of it again. But then you put plastic wrap over it, and then you set it to the side and you let it double in size for an hour. So I'm gonna take you through all those steps in just a minute. So we have about 15 seconds, 30 seconds left. Now on our pizza, we are actually going to do pepperoni pizza. We are going to do cheese pizza, and then we have sausage for sausage pizza. Now the sausage I will cook in our large round mold in the microwave because it's faster to get done that way. Doesn't take as long. We don't have to worry about it popping you. So I will actually open this and put it in here. I'll put the bon mat on top of it and I'll cook it that way. And again, that will be on the video as well. I'm just not doing it yet because we gotta wait for the dough to rise. So the oil and the milk is done, so let's get that out and let's see what the temperature of this is. So again, I did this for 1.5 minutes in the microwave. And then I'm going to take my thermometer, I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to put it in, and let's see what it reaches. It says it should feel like a warm bath, but it should be at least 115. Mine is perfectly okay, it's over 115. So mine is ready to go. So I'm going to take this, and the last time I kind of mixed it up a little bit because you know oil and milk separate. So I mix it up, and now I'm going to pour it in to my bowl. Remember, it has the mix and it has the yeast in there. And then I'm going to start mixing it up. Now as it mixes, remember it's going to form a ball. And once it starts to form like the dough ball, earlier, you can do this with the machine as well. You don't have to do this with a spatula. Or you can do this with like a KitchenAid mixer or whatever you want to use for it. but I'm doing it with this, and then as it gets closer to forming that ball, I use my hand to just kind of squish it down and to mix it up more. Oops, I just made a mess. That's all right. So now I'm closer to where it's kind of forming that dough ball that you want for a pizza dough. So I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to form the dough. I'm going to make that circle. Mix it in. Now again, you want to make sure that all that flour, all that dough is mixed into it. Ooh, it's nice and warm. So, once you get it mixed up real well, you have no loose strands, most of your dough is gone, that's when you're going to take it and you're going to put it back in a ball. Hopefully none of this gets in my nails. That's gross. Okay, I'm going to put it back in the bowl. And then I'm going to brush some oil on top of the dough, like it says. Kind of need more oil in this. And then what you do is you cover it. And now, again, with Bon Cook, you could use our stuff to cover it up with. We have the bonmats, we have the roll pat, you have the octagonal bonmats. You could use any of those to cover it with. I'm actually just using some cling wrap today just because I have some. Normally I don't, and I don't really use it, but that's what I'm going to use. Now, you set this aside. I know you can't see me in the video, it's all right. For an hour, and you let it sit there. And I have one more I'm doing because so many people in my family, you know, we got to cook a lot of food. So, I already had one going. I just did the one, and I'm going to do another one because with this one, I'm going to throw in some of our French pantry oils. I'm going to mix it with the olive oil, and we'll see what we get. So again, I'm just going to put the bag in here. This one was on top, so it was easier to take out. I didn't have to dig for it or find it later. Earlier, I found one later after I poured the hot stuff in with it. So that was interesting. Okay, so again, I got to do a cup of milk. Make sure it's whole milk. So I'm going to put a cup of milk in here. Now, for this one, for the oil, I have some of the Mediterranean oil in here already. One of my favorites, I love the rosemary oil. I love the basil. Any of those are great. But this one is the pesto parmesan oil. So we're going to pour some of this in here. We're going to mix it because I don't want to use all of that oil. I'm going to mix it with the Mediterranean oil to get the 1/3 cup of it. Put it in the bowl. Now we are going to, again, put this in the microwave for 1.5 minutes with a bonmat on top. The bonmat's over here. Actually, I'm just going to do 1 minute this time and see if the time works well for that also, because before it was a little bit higher than 115, which is okay, but we're going to do a little bit more. So I've already used all of this, so all of this will actually be put away. Now, make sure before that you preheat your oven. You need your oven preheated to 450. And you also need to remember that you have to let this set for an hour before you actually make your pizza out of it. I didn't think about that at the time, so we're going to eat dinner late today, but that's all right. Okay, the time for that is almost up. We're going to check the temperature and see if the temperature is good. And then if it is, I will pour it in, mix it up, and do the same thing I did with the other one. So let's check the temperature real quick and see if a minute works for that in the microwave in the cake mold. This is the true test. So we know 1.5 minutes works. So let's see if a minute works. getting there. It smells good. Okay, yes it does. So a minute works in the small cake or the mini cake mold with the bon mat on top. If you put it in there, it works. Heats it to probably a little over 115, but it got to 115. That's all I wanted. So I'm gonna mix it up. Oh, this one smells amazing. That pesto parm. Huh? Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot. The one with these packages, one package will actually make two 12-inch round pizzas. So you can get 2 pizzas out of one package. In our family, currently there's six of us here. My son, when he comes home, will eat some too. Generally, they all eat a pizza a piece. I don't. Don't get me wrong. I don't eat a pizza a piece. But even my 10-year-old, my 11-year-old will eat a pizza by himself. They're not doing that because we're going to have 6 pizzas. And they're going to have to share. But you can get 2 pizzas out of each package. So we're just going to make 12 pizzas today. And when we get to that part, we'll bring you back and you'll get to see that too. So I'm mixing this up. This one is definitely going to be the one that I'm eating because it smells so good. I'm going to use my hand again. It seems to work real well with your hand. Using that works to get it all mixed up there. But then as you get closer to like the dough and the flour being around, if you use your hand and you smush it down and move it around, it helps to mix that oil in better. That's what I've noticed. Okay. So this one is mixed in well. Maybe still need to mix it a little bit more. But again, you mix it up. Make sure it's mixed in really good. And then you're going to take, again, some oil. And you're going to put that on top of it. And I think I'm going to use the pesto parm oil because it smells so good. And I'm going to just mix it, or not mix it. I'm going to pour some on my thing. I'm going to pour it on here, spread it out, and then I will put the stuff on top of it again, let it sit for an hour, and then we'll be back. So again, I'll see you in a little bit. Hello. Okay, so we are making pizza. I have the dough that has been rising for an hour. So now we're going to get everything together and we're going to start by making the sausage. So I'm going to cook sausage and I'm going to put it in a large round mold. I'm going to make it, I'm going to use our cake knife server cutter to cut it out of here. Well, maybe, maybe not. I'm just going to cut it. There we go. There we go. Now we got it. So I'm cutting it out of the plastic. I'm going to pour the sausage into the bowl. And then I don't think it's going to take that long to cook it. So I'm putting it in for 5 minutes in the microwave. I hate the feel of sausage, by the way. I hate the... Ugh. Okay. So we have all the sausage almost out. We're going to put the bon mat, the octagonal bon mat on top. And we are going to cook it in the microwave. Not on the stove, not in the oven. We're going to cook it in the microwave. Yes, it gets done. Yes, it's safe. But we will cook it in the microwave for 5 minutes to start with. And we'll see how we go from there. We're going to start with 5 minutes because I don't know exactly how long it will take to do it. So I'm going to start with 5 minutes. Bon mat on top. We're going to take this. We're going to put it in the microwave. Let's start. Okay. So while that's cooking, we're going to head and start on a cheese pizza because we need sausage at one point. So I have this is the large bun mat with the large perforated baking sheet. I'm going to take the dough that smells wonderful because of the pesto oil. We're going to put it out on the bun mat. And then, get my ring off. Just going to do some folding here. Oh my gosh, this smells so good still. Okay, and then I'm going to take some flour and sprinkle it on top. I'm going to use my rolling pin to roll out the dough. And I'm going to make it the size of the bun mat. So the good thing about these is that you don't have to flour them. It won't stick to the bun mat. So you can just roll it out. I'm not very good at rolling dough out. Just so you guys know. This is not my cup of tea. But I'm going to do the best I can. And again, we're going to make it large. We're going to put this down here real quick, because I think it'll be easier. It won't move. Oh, well. It doesn't move as much, that is. So much easier if I just put it on the table. And then before I put the stuff on, I will put it back on the perforated baking sheet, because that's what we have to have it in order to cook it. So, I'm going to roll this out. Don't want those to fall off. And of course, some people would be pickier than I am. I don't care if it's even. I don't care if it's a perfect rectangle. I don't care if it's a circle. Like, I don't care. I'm just rolling it out to fit the bun mat. And then I'm going to put stuff on it to make a pizza. Now, you can do it however you want. I also have some other things that I've used for pizza dough before, like a tree mold and different things like that. You can do it however you want. But this is huge. That makes a big pizza. That is big. Okay, so I'm going to put it back on the perforated baking sheet. Now, if you want an edge on your pizza, so if you want like a crust edge on it, you can do that by just taking the sides of it and bending it up and folding it, and you can have one. I'm leaving mine flat. That's what I want to do. I'm going to take some pizza sauce for this one, probably a lot of pizza sauce actually. I'm going to spread it on here. So this is our ladle again, the bun cook ladle that I'm spreading it on with. And then I have one of our, this is our jar spatula. I'm going to spread it out with. Now this is all up to personal preference on how much sauce you like on your pizza. You can put other things on your pizza as well. You could add onion, you could add other things. This one is just going to be a cheese pizza. Kinsey and I are definitely cheese pizza people. So we are going to have a cheese pizza, we'll have a sausage pizza, and then we'll have a pepperoni pizza. So I've spread some sauce on here. I kind of want some more sauce on here. We'll see. That's probably good. I don't want it to go everywhere in the oven. And then on this one, again, it's just a cheese pizza. So I am taking cheese. It's going to have lots of cheese. See, and with it being just a cheese pizza, I think I'm going to add some more sauce. Because it's just cheese. You know, I want a lot of sauce. Oh, by the way, hi Dominic. Thought I'd say hi to you again as we're going through. Okay, and then I'm going to spread some cheese. I'm going to make sure I get plenty of cheese on this pizza. If you have like herbs and stuff you want on it, like Bridget's favorite herb of the roasted garlic and chives, we'll make sure we'll put some of that on there. I also have the pesto parmesan oil that I used, which I meant to put down on there again and I kind of forgot. So look at that, I almost used that whole bowl of cheese on this one pizza. So there's the cheese. Let me get the sausage out. I'm going to get that herb blend that she loves so much. Now the sausage has been in the microwave for 5 minutes. It's not quite done, so I'm going to put it back in there. I'm going to do just 3 minutes this time because it's almost done and I don't want to overcook it. Because it's also going to go in the oven and it's going to cook again. So I'm putting it back in. We're going to do 3 minutes. I got the roasted garlic and chives seasoning. We're just gonna put some on top of the cheese pizza. We'll put it on all the pizzas. That's why Bridget can eat whatever pizza she wants to eat. In a video we did earlier, it was yesterday we did a video, and it was the chicken roll-ups. And we put this on in the chicken roll-ups. She also put it on a baked potato, and then she put more on after the end. So she loves this. Okay, I'm gonna bake this pizza until the cheese is melted and the crust is done. The oven has been preheating, so it should be good to go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start on the next pizza. So again, I'm going to take the bon mat, and this is one of our old bon mats. So it's actually, this was back when Bon Cook called them Silpats. We have since then changed the name of them. We have rebranded. We haven't changed the name. We've rebranded, and now we're Bon Cook. So now it's a bon mat, and they're white. They're so much prettier. Okay, here's the next one. And you know, the other one we were going to put on a small pan, but I think we're going to need 2 of the small pans because this crust gets huge. So again, we are going to spread some flour. Now we're going to take our rolling pin. We're going to roll it out. And again, you can do it however you'd like to do it. I am going to roll it out to as big a size as I can get to the Silpat or bon mat. And of course, as you go, you get more dough. You just see all this dough coming out. It's crazy. There's a lot of dough here, so it makes pretty good sized pizza for you guys. So remember that when you make these, when you use our crust, it makes a good sized pizza for you. And then this one I am going to put the pesto parmesan oil on before I put the sauce on. Didn't do that on the other one. I meant to. I didn't. Okay, now this one I'm going to have to roll this in because it's off my Silpat bon mat. Okay, now I'm using our pesto parmesan oil. Oh, I forgot to get the, here it is. I think I'm just gonna pour a little line. Okay, a lot of line. Then I'm just gonna brush it through. Let me get the microwave. Okay. Brushing it on. Oh, this stuff smells wonderful. If you guys like to use flavored oils, we have lots of oils and balsamics on our website that you can use. And one of my favorites for like cakes and brownies would be the strawberry balsamic. Oh, it's so good. But if you also want just a flavored vegetable oils or whatnot to cook with, definitely do the pesto. It smells amazing. It smells so good. So I'm sure, I mean, I've used it before, but I don't remember. Okay, now we're going to do sauce. I'm just going to do it this way this time. So the sausage is done, I do believe. So I'm going to make this one pepperoni, then we're going to go to the sausage one. I'm going to have one of my sons come and get me out another medium bon mat and perforated baking sheet because we're going to need it, obviously, because this makes big pizza. So on the next one, you're going to see that I am going to actually cut the dough in half because I'm going to use it on 2 different trays because it makes such a big pizza and I don't have another large one, so I'm going to use it on a different one. So I'm going to put the cheese on first. And then, Devin, will you come around and get me out a medium bon mat and medium perforated baking sheet? So you're going to see my son coming in. He's going to get out another bon mat and perforated baking sheet for me. Yep, I've used all that cheese that I had ready on 2 pizzas. Just put it back here on this one, Devin. Right here. Yeah, right there. Okay. So we're going to put some cheese on here. Ooh, this cheese is cold. And again, you can put what you want on your pizza. We are just playing very plain Janes today. We're going to put some pepperonis on this one. I say, now I know I opened this. It does smell good, doesn't it? It's that pesto parmesan.
Okay.
Just put that on top of it. I cannot get this open. There we go. I was having issues. Thanks, Devin. Okay, so I have this one open. I'm just going to spread out some pepperonis on here. Whatever. And this one's going to be all pepperoni, so I don't have to worry about anything else. The next two will be sausage, and I think maybe some pepperoni as well, because some people like pepperoni and sausage. And so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to make sure I put the garlic and chive on here, because of course we have people that love that. So it's the roasted garlic and chive, and this is the Bon Blend French Pantry. And again, it comes in a cute little container. Okay, and it's a lovely mix of blend of herbs. Smells really good, tastes really good. So I'm not saying that, you know, she's wrong, because it does taste really good. Okay, so that's on top. Now I'm going to put, I didn't put the perforated baking sheet underneath it before I did that. That's okay, because I will just, hopefully, just slide it right in there. See how easy that was? Like, it just went perfectly in there. So we're going to put this one in the oven now with the other one. Take the sausage out. Make sure it's done. Now this is something I'm going to make sure that Bridget gets a close-up of. Oops, sorry. I didn't want to use that in my business. So I am going to, of course, when you have hamburger and you have sausage, you need to drain the oil. This is the cool thing about Bon Cook, you guys. So usually you cook it in a pan, you have to dump it out. Nope. So this is our oil jar, as you can see. So what you do with Bon Cook, you fold it, you bend it, and then at the end you can make a spout. So you just hold it and you drain it. Now, of course, the sausage doesn't have a whole lot of grease in there. But you just drain it, and once it all is all out, so much easier. The sausage didn't have a lot in there to begin with, so, but yeah, and then it's all ready to go. So you can drain it by just squeezing it and doing it that way. You don't have to worry about using it in another dish. And because it's Bon Cook, it's also easier to wash. It doesn't stay greasy like some other things would when you use them. This doesn't do that. Okay, so now we are going to use the medium Bon Mat and the medium perforated baking sheet. Okay, for this one, we are going to do half the dough because it's half the size. And we know that that's not going to fit. Now, when you use a Bon Mat, you cannot cut on the Bon Mat with a regular knife. Sorry, I need a spoon for this. You cannot use a regular knife for a Bon Mat. You need to make sure that you are using our safe cake knife server on a Bon Mat. You use anything else and it can cut through it, it will cut through it, and then you have drips coming through, and that avoids the warranty of the Bon Mat. So make sure you're only using the cake knife server to cut on. So I have the dough here. I'm going to cut it basically in half. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that half and put it on the other side, because I have another tray over there. And then I am going to make this a ball again before I spread it. Now I'm going to put some flour on there again because I need to roll it. And again, I need to take it off. Okay, now I'm going to roll it out on this Bon Mat. And remember, this is only half the size of the dough. And it's going to make basically 2 of these medium size. Woo! Okay. There we go. Now we're going to make sure we put some of the pesto parm oil on this one as well. We're gonna put that over there. We're just gonna spread the oil around, and then we're gonna put the pizza sauce on it. And of course, there's different oils we have that you could use. I'm just using this one because I love the smell. But we have a lot of different ones you can use. You don't have to use that one. Then we're gonna have some pizza sauce. Since this is smaller, of course, we don't need as much pizza sauce. And of course, some people don't like pizza sauce. You can skip pizza sauce. You can do whatever you want to do. And I am not a pizza person. In fact, I prefer not to eat pizza. But my kids love pizza. And I like the dough from Cook. I love the taste of it because it has the herb blends in it. And so it's different than like regular dough you'd buy from a store. Okay, so I have some cheese on here. And again, I didn't put it on the perforated baking sheet yet, but that's okay. Okay, now we're gonna add some sausage to this one. So I'm just gonna take my spoon. You can tell the sausage is hot. This ended up taking 8 minutes in the microwave to cook, and it was 1 pound of sausage. And then once it was done, I just kind of smushed it down, chopped it down a little bit to use on the pizza. Guess I could have made it in smaller pieces, but that's okay. Okay, so this one's just gonna be sausage pizza. And then I'm gonna make one that's pepperoni and sausage. And don't forget the roasted garlic and chives. So we're gonna put this on top of it. I can't put this one in the oven quite yet because the oven's kind of full with the other 2. So this one's gonna be put to the side for now. And then as soon as those 2 are done, or one of those are done, I'll put this one in the oven. Now when I put this one in the oven, I can put both of these together on the same rack. So that's good because I can cook them, still cook them both at the same time. So there's one. And then here's the last pizza. So again, I have half the dough because the half of the dough that I didn't use, I put on this side. So I'm gonna roll it into a ball. I'm gonna put some flour on it. And then I'm going to use my roller to roll out the dough. Oops. So that dough is rolled out. Make sure it stays off the edge of the silpat or bonmat, sorry. Okay. Whoop, see? I just get it all over there. Let's roll this out a little bit more this way. Okay, so now again we're going to put pizza sauce on it. This time I'm going to be smart. I'm going to put it on the perforated baking sheet before I start putting stuff on it. Okay, pizza sauce. Whoa, that's a lot of sauce. That's okay. I wanted to use the rest of the jar, so you know what? We're just going to go with it. Now if it overflows, we'll clean it up later. So we're going to make sure most of that sauce stays in the center because we don't want it to go over the sides. And this is when you could put aside like a a crust on the side. And then as that bakes, it'll bake up around the sauce, and then you won't have to worry about it so much either. So maybe, whoa. So if you make a side like this, kind of have that, kind of have the sauce then baked into that crust rather than having the sauce coming out of the crust right there. I'm gonna put more sauce over here. So this one will be a little different. That's okay though. Every pizza can be different. Sometimes we have mushroom on our pizzas. Sometimes someone wants pineapple on their pizza. Sometimes people want olives on their pizza. So you never know what we're gonna get. There we go. We'll see how this works. Okay, now we have some cheese. We've used almost a 5-pound bag of cheese on our pizzas today because we like cheese. Okay. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit more cheese. Okay, and then this one is actually going to be the pepperoni and the sausage pizza. So I'm going to put the rest of the sausage on here. It's a big piece, I'll have to. And the sausage, I could have actually used the Eco Chop, and I could have chopped it with that. I didn't really want to get that dirty though. So it's not hard to clean. It's just I have so many dishes back here to clean that I didn't want to make another one. Okay, so I got the sausage, and now I'm just going to put some pepperonis on top. I think I'll finish out the one pepperoni we opened, and then the other one we'll just put away. Now, of course, being a cook in your own home, you can eat as you go. A lot of people eat as they go. And I love to eat the pepperonis by themselves, which is funny because I'm not a fan of pepperoni pizza. But I will eat pepperonis by themselves. I'm going to have to try the sausage pepperoni pizza just because it looks good. It looks really good. This is going to be a lot of pepperonis on this pizza. Some people also like to use turkey pepperonis. I just use regular pepperonis, but you can use whatever you would like on it. There's a lot of, I hope someone likes pepperonis, because there's a lot. There we go, look at that. And again, don't forget, roasted garlic and chive. We're just gonna sprinkle it on top. We're gonna check the other pizza, let's see if they're done, so we can get these ones in there, if those ones are done. Okay, let's see if they are done, or if either one of them are done. Ooh! I think that's a yes. Let's get that one out. The cheese one looks humongous, and I mean huge. You're gonna be so surprised when you see how big this pizza is. I didn't expect it to be that big. Look at that pizza. It looks amazing, but it is huge. But that is awesome. So we're gonna actually put these two in then. And the pepperoni one's almost done too. No, I don't want to do that actually. So the pepperoni one will be done in about a couple minutes. But if you can see, this is the big crust that I did. And it is amazing. Now I'm going to use my cake knife server to cut it to show you guys how it turned out. So let's cut it open here. Wow, that's a lot of cheese. Good thing my daughter loves cheese. This is a big pizza. There you go. Whoosh. It is very thick crusted, or not very thick, but it's thick enough for a pizza. See, it's a cake knife server, so once I cut them, there we go. This is where my handy dandy serving tray comes in. There you have it. That is a piece of our nice looking cheese pizza. Fresh out of the oven, it's hot. There it is. And then we're gonna have salad with our pizza today too. So thanks for joining in, and come back hopefully in the next week or so. I'm gonna try some old-fashioned brown sugar cake. So thank you.